2020 has been a year of acknowledgement and reform. In the wake of protests following the murder of George Floyd, there has been a reckoning for justice and change around the world. Here in Canada, many have turned their attention to the historical deeds of some of our celebrated former leaders. Earlier this year, Oakville, Ontario locals turned their attention to a Nazi memorial commemorating the acts of Ukrainian soldiers who fought in the 14th Division of the SS. Why only now is this controversial commemoration being questioned? Following their defeat during the First World War, Germany was reeling from the harsh conditions of a peace treaty that left the country shamed and buried in economic crisis. Answering their cries for help was a radical new leader who rose into power during the 1930s. When promising to restore Germany and place it once again at the forefront of world powers, the people were captivated. Adolf Hitler's reign brought swift economic relief, and the German military was quickly on the rise. This subsequently saw the formation of a special military division called the Schutzstaffel, or SS. This totalitarian organization began as personal protection for Hitler himself, and rapidly became one of the most powerful and feared groups ruling Europe with an iron fist. Made up of Ukrainian volunteers, the 14th Division of the Waffen-SS was formed in 1943 to support the German forces during the beginning of the Second World War. The division assisted Nazis in anti-residence actions and reprisals. According to a University of Ottawa professor and historian, Ivan Kachanovsky, the unit committed a massacre of more than 1,000 Polish civilians in Huta Pieniacka in 1944 alone. The town was razed to the ground, and most of its inhabitants were murdered, including many young women and children. This is just one example of the unspeakable acts and atrocities committed by the 14th Division. Regardless of this, because of their role in Ukrainian nationalism, the soldiers of the division have been commemorated by at least two communities here in Canada, most noticeably that of the St. Volodymyr's Memorial in Oakville, Ontario. The monument commemorates those soldiers who combated both Nazis and communists who were invading their country. According to the Ukrainian government, those nationalists in the 14th Division allegedly never fought against the Allies during the Second World War. Since its construction in the 1980s, many political figures have attempted to see the removal of this controversial war memorial. In an interview with the CBC, Rabbi Meir H. May stated that any monument which venerates soldiers who fought for Hitler's genocidal regime is nothing less than a blight and insult to the memory of Canadian soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice during World War II on behalf of the freedoms we all hold so dear. Regardless of St. Volodymyr's cemetery portraying those who fought a repressive communist regime as heroes, the monument represents a dangerous moral equivalency between those who defeated fascism and those who allied with it in the name of nationhood. And although many refute the statue and demand its removal, because it is privately owned, it does not appear the controversial marker will be going anywhere anytime soon.